Okay, for this lesson we're talking about additive inverses, and this is from Module 1, Lesson 1, bottom of page 6. The integers 5 and negative 5 are known as opposites. Opposites have the same absolute value. Remember, that's the distance from 0, but different signs. Two integers that are opposite are called additive inverses, and their sum is 0. Remember, sum is a fancy word for adding. So the additive inverse property can be used to find additive inverses. So again, the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. So let's look at some examples. So a regular example might be something like 5 plus negative 5 is equal to 0. Can you please write an example of your own that you think shows the additive inverse? So the two numbers that add up to 0. Another example might be negative 10 plus a positive 10 is equal to 0. If you haven't come up with one on your own, can you try to come up with a one? Maybe negative 95 plus what? Hopefully you're saying a positive 95. Okay, so those are some number examples. If we're talking about algebra examples, it might look something like a plus negative a equals 0. So pick a letter. Maybe we can do D. D plus what would equal 0? Well, we could say D plus negative D equals 0. Can you come up with one on your own? Please write it down. Pause the video, write it down. If I choose negative E, what would I have to add to negative E to get it to be 0? That would be a positive E. Okay, moving on. Okay, so here we have a table on page 7 where we have an integer, its additive inverse, and the sum. I want you to fill in the blanks, the missing parts. On my screen, I put some letters to help me tell you where to be looking. So, for example, if we take negative 1 plus 1, what would that be equal to? Hopefully, you're saying 0. So if we go to two plus what equals 0? So what would we have to add to 2 to get it to 0? Please write down what you think the answer would be. Hopefully you're saying negative 2. If I have negative 3, what plus negative 3 adds up to 0? Hopefully, since they're giving us a negative, the opposite would be 3. Negative 4 plus what would equal what? So what are we trying to get here? So remember, we're trying to get a sum of 0. So negative 4 plus what would equal 0? 4. And finally, if we have the integer 5, what plus 5 equals what? What are we trying to get here? Hopefully, again, by now you know we got trying to get 0. So 5 plus what equals 0? I think we did that earlier, actually. Hopefully you're saying -5. And that wraps it up. So hopefully that explains additive inverse. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. If I can get to and end here.